again where we go crazy on the Cracker Dawn Show. Alright, good morning everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy Booza Thursday. And just talking about Booza, I've got to share with you a little something yesterday's show is about, like, let's say basically there's places in urban legends like Japan where they have scary creatures and supernatural stuff going on there, and this show is going to be quite epic. So talking about Booza Thursday today, Thirsty Thursday, we were looking at something called the shoujo, right? And I mean, I don't know how we came across this, but the team and I were sitting and we were talking about the shoujo. So there's a shoujo thing in Japan, right? A shoujo is the Japanese reading of a Chinese xing, right? So it's older from a sheng, they call it, also translated as live lively. Now, which is a mythical primate, which is, though it has been tentatively identified with an orangutan species. It's also some Western commentators have regarded the shoujo sea spirit with a red face and hair and fondness of alcohol as part of native Japanese folklore. So yeah, no drinking, the boogie will catch you. Shoujo. But anyway guys, welcome to the show. You are currently streaming live with us in Legendse South, live on Atomville TV. This is the Cracker Dawn Show, if you didn't know, and I'm your host Kimera Heeralal. If you'd like to join us in conversation, please do so in the bottom column. You can see it at the bottom of the screen. You can comment there, join the show, have fun with us, yeah? Alright, so if you missed the WhatsApp line, you'll see it at the bottom right of your screen. The number is 074-660-5829. So before we get to it, morning everyone, wakey, you're still falling asleep. I had a long night as well. No partying, I don't party. It's only production, work. But yeah, don't go anywhere. We have a jam-packed show for you for a full hour to keep you well entertained and happy and vibey in the morning. And we'll come back straight after this commercial break. Welcome back everybody. If you just joined us, you are currently streaming live with us in Legendse South on Atomville TV. This is the Crack of Dawn Show with myself, Kimera Heeralal, as your host. And please do interact with us as we are live and at live. I like the interaction. I like to hear from the public what they have to say about whatever we're showcasing. Alright, so before we get into the urban legends of Japan, let's talk, let's hear what Wackett Simpson has to say this morning. He's actually mentioning something about this woman is just too sweet to be pranked. Check it out.
Hello?
Hello, ma'am. Sorry to trouble you at this time.
Yes.
My name is Roger van Koffelstoffel. I'm phoning from the Water and Drains Council Departments.
Yes.
We've noticed a blockage in your sewerage system.
My sewage? No.
We've checked it from down the road. It's causing quite a few blockages, and it's coming from your premises.
Oh, no, but my the toilet is not blocked.
The toilet that you've got there by your house, according to our records,
Yes.
is the Armitage Shanks 1974 Super Flusher.
Yes.
Just a few routine questions, ma'am, just to solve our problems.
Yes.
How many times do you use the toilet a day?
Oh, not really, because it's only myself and only about 3 times he used it.
3 times. Is that
Yes.
front and the back?
No.
Just the front?
Yes.
Is that average? Is that not if anyone's sick and there's extra usage?
No, only when they got diarrhea and all. Now they haven't got all that, you see.
Because perhaps, ma'am, if they get the diarrhea, I know my gran used to do this. She used to make me eat bisto, but used to thicken it up.
They really haven't got diarrhea, you see.
Do your kids eat a lot of all brand? Does the family eat all brand?
Yes.
Because that obviously makes the system work much faster.
Yes.
We're going to have to dig up the end of the street.
Yes.
Which means that you're not going to have a toilet for 8 days.
Oh, God.
So could you perhaps hold it in for 8 days?
No.
Or perhaps if you could all wear nappies.
Oh, then what am I going to do?
Or use the garden, ma'am.
No.
What you can do for your immediate situation now for your family, we can offer you constipation pills to block your systems. You might put on a bit of weight, but it'll stop you from going for about 8 days.
I will.
Will you?
Yes.
Do they chew their food properly?
Yes.
The sewage is actually a bit chunky. So can you just make sure that your family chew their food properly?
Yes, I'll tell them.
Now, when your kids eat the chocolates,
Yes.
do they eat the wrappers as well?
They eat it nicely, the chocolate.
Because, ma'am, what we have found in the sewerage system is we found a Bar 1 wrapper, a Chomp wrapper, a Kit Kat, and a Tex wrapper.
No, I understand. I always keep the packet by them. They must put it in. They even crush anything. Must throw it. I throw it away in the bin.
You see, because, ma'am, this is a toilet abuse.
No. You know, yeah, when the visitors come, they do that. They naughty.
Is this number 121?
My address is 14.
So I've been talking to the wrong person. Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am, to put you through that.
No problem. You do make a mistake. Or some people do make mistakes.
Okay, ma'am, thank you so much, and so sorry for the
Thanks.
misunderstanding.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
That was a full-blown Indian accent. I love it. Okay, so that woman was too sweet. She wasn't rude. She still answered Wagon. I don't understand why people still answer you. But anyway, it's your tolerance level. So I believe you can tolerate. I can't, Jay. I'll end up swearing. So I think if he had to call me and it's public, people will be like, this girl is so vulgar. Alright, that was Wacky and Simpson, ladies and gentlemen, live on Actonville TV. Don't go anywhere. We're talking about, well, urban legends in Japan and things that you can't even take into the country. We'll go back straight after this.
The rich taste that says you've arrived. Uyingakar. Living a life of illusion. Leaving your finances on the rocks. In this world of Bazotina Bantu, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, you are currently streaming live with us right here in the Native South on Actonville TV. Well, this is the Crack of Dawn Show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. If you want to join us, you can. You can comment at the bottom of the screen, or you could use, well, the bottom right of the screen where it says WhatsApp line. You can WhatsApp us. Yeah, I've got the phone right here. Alright. So anybody celebrating your birthday, happy birthday to you. Alright. And Eid Mubarak to everybody who's celebrating Eid today, to all my Muslim and Muslim friends and family. Well, Eid Mubarak. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Lots of eats. Please come visit us. We're in Legendse, South Caxton Lane. Alright, we got Dashni Manikan coming in this morning on YouTube saying good morning. Hand pink waving. You get yellow, honey. Morning, doll. Alright, so guys, we're talking about, well, places in the Japanese urban legends, rather, and things that you can't do in Japan. Quite a few things. Okay, so let's look at the Japan customs first. It's actually very restricted, right? Now, these items you have to be careful, and things that you can and can't bring into their country. Japan. Okay, let's talk about Japan. So now, this is something you actually want to be careful when traveling, especially your belongings, right? Sometimes, you know, if you don't understand the rules and the laws of a certain country and you go there, you can actually end up in jail because you didn't know. And unfortunately, in customs or at the airport, they're not taking nonsense. They feel people are trafficking them, you know, doing funny things. So anyway, Japan's custom officials actually will check your luggage, okay? Depending on the country that you're traveling from. Prohibited objects can be a little bit different. And even if it's something that you always have on hand to give to a friend, like a gift or something, Basically, what I'm saying is a lot of people don't know that there's things that are prohibited by the Japanese law. Now, it will be confiscated from you, or if worse, you'll face jail time, right? So now, depending on the case, they may deny entry, may deny you the entry, or you may be actually punished by the law, like I've just mentioned. So now, stating I didn't know won't actually work, okay? So make sure to double check what you can and can't bring into Japan if you're going there, and make sure you check your luggage before you go. Just be sure, sit with your like PDF, download the PDF about Japan and see what's up there. Okay, so let's look at a little bit of like a table of contents that I have here in front of me, right? So there's items that are prohibited for import and can't be brought into Japan, like meat products, animal-derived products. It's actually restricted by Japan customs. And don't forget, you can I bring cheese into Japan? Good question. We checked that out just now. Plants are actually restricted to bring into Japan. You cannot take plants. They also say items that will infringe on intellectual property, such as fake brands and your counterfeit goods, not allowed to be taken into Japan. I think my whole cupboard will be allowed in Japan. Guys, I have fake Nikes and stuff, so like these t-shirts, they say it's not allowed. Okay. Also, there's items that are controlled by the Washington Convention. So certain products that come from Washington, it has to be controlled, and some things won't be allowed and some things can be allowed. So you don't even know. You have to look into it. Now, items that are prohibited for import and can't be brought into Japan, well, they say, we will first go over items that are prohibited for import, right? And then if you try bringing in the following items, not only will they be confiscated and destroyed, but there's a possibility of being punished by the law. So at first, if you may think plants and vegetables aren't a big deal, however, there are some surprising items. Alright, so before we get to that, and make it a little bit more exciting, let's invite Taylor Smith onto the show, as we always do every day. Alright, so we're starting off, we're going to do the top 5 evil places in Japan. Humans are also prohibited from entering with this. So this is hosted by Taylor Smith. Let's start with number 5, with the Himuro Mansion. Let's check it out.
Hello once again, my friends beyond the screen. Taylor, your casual crypt keeper. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. A while ago, I accidentally summoned a demon, and now he's my roommate. It's a whole thing. In exchange for the freedom of my soul, I promised to provide him with entertaining horror content every day. Today, he asked to hear about 5 evil places in Japan forbidden from humans so he could go without me and taunt me about it. He's a piece of work, but let's waste no more time and appease Balfagor. This is the top 5 evil places in Japan humans are prohibited from entering. Look, sure, these places are locked down, but let me know down below in the comments which of these you would just love to get to see up close and personal. Let's get into it. Number 5, Himuro Mansion. Up first on this list of haunting places in Japan is Himuro Mansion, an oft-repeated folk tale and Japanese urban legend that's told with a hushed whisper. It's one of the more famous urban legends of Japan and actually ended up inspiring the Fatal Frame series of horror video games, if you're a fan of those. The legend goes that the mansion once belonged to a wealthy and influential family. Noble and well-respected, people would speak of rumors of the family's involvement in the occult and their practice of sinister rituals. The most notorious one was known as the strangling ritual, which was performed every half-century to prevent an ages-old dark curse that would engulf the mansion and its inhabitants and spill out into the surrounding lands. This ritual involved selecting a young noble girl from a prestigious lineage. She was then known as the Rope Maiden, and I know what that name sounds like, but it's not for good reasons, trust me. The Rope Maiden on the day of the ritual would be tied and bound to 4 horses, and I promise you don't want to know what comes next, but you can probably imagine. The story goes that when it came time for the last ritual, the maiden was smitten with a member of the family who wanted to run away with her. The patriarch of the family raised his blade to the maiden and then on his own family, and finally himself. Himuro Mansion was abandoned and lost to time. Whether or not it still stands is even a dispute. The legends say that if you find Himuro Mansion and you take photos at it, you'll see the ghosts of all the Rope Maidens of past. This legend is what directly inspired the Fatal Frame series of horror video games, which all revolve around using a camera to take pictures of ghosts in abandoned mansions. So you can see where that idea turned into the final project. They're one of the most terrifying games I've ever played, and if you've never played one, I definitely recommend, especially if you're a fan of Japanese urban legends. And I assume you are, so why you're watching this video.
All right, so getting back to certain products, and we're talking about fully Japan this morning, right? So guys, interact with us in studio today if you have been to Japan or if you understand the laws and the rules of Japan. Never mind, they have some urban legends and scary stuff going on there, but their laws are actually quite crazy. We spoke about the laws in India as well, how crazy they are and how like, what? You're not allowed to do that? Oh, you can do that? Oh, like, yeah. Alright, so we were speaking about most meat products and animal-derived products, right? So that's definitely not allowed, okay? Now, in many countries, there are livestock diseases, as you know, right? And there is a fear of infectious diseases spreading from meat products. So that is why it's not allowed, okay? Now, this applies to raw meat, processed goods, airtight goods, and leftover food from the plane. And also, the following items, okay, are prohibited in Japan, even if it is for personal use or gifts. However, items with inspection certificates issued by the government agency of the exporting countries are actually included. So, let's talk about even-toed ungulates, okay? That's hoofed animals, basically, such as, your cows, your pigs, your goats, your sheep, and your deer. Poultry such as chicken, quail, a pheasant, ostrich, guinea fowls, turkey, duck, and geese, not even forgetting horses and dogs and rabbits, and items derived from any honeybees. Strange, right? So that means you can't take your dog to Japan. Now, if you look at the meat, the intestine, the raw, frozen, processed products, not allowed, okay? Eggs, okay? This applies to the shells. They're not allowed. So anyway, you also get bones, you get fat, you get blood, you get skin, you get fur, feathers, horns, hooves, and the tendon. However, this doesn't apply to leather bags as well, or wool sweaters, okay? So, you're not allowed to even take raw milk. You can't take semen. Sorry. You can't take semen, fertilized eggs, unfertilized eggs, or feces, or urine to Japan. With all due respect, I don't see why anyone would want to carry that. But anyway, dairy products, okay? You excluding portable items like 10 kilograms or less that is not for sale on business or use. Also, straw of grains and hay for feeding, applies to some regions in Japan. Now, beef jerky, for those of you who love your beef jerkies and ham and your sausages and your bacon and your meat buns, they are not allowed in Japan. Now, this means if you purchase a hamburger before your flight, you can't bring it into Japan. So make sure that you finish eating before or during your flight. Also, if you visited the farm, okay, interacted with the livestock or have a golf shoe on with dirt, you are actually required to report the animal quarantine station. You're supposed to report to the station. So there are some places that have shoe sole disinfections, okay? However, you must make self-declarations. You may be pushed by law if you miss or falsify your declaration. So be careful of that, especially with your shoes. So just go to the shoe section. I'm sure it's there. You ask somebody when you get off a plane, where do I find this to disinfect my shoes? And you get that done. So if your shoes are not disinfected, you can get in trouble just for that. Imagine you're trapped in cow dung and they say no feces allowed in Japan and you get locked up for it. It's quite scary. Coming in at number 4 with our urban legends of Japan, we have Hirosaki Castle. Check it out.
Number 4, Hirosaki Castle. Coming up next on our list of hot spots to avoid is Hirosaki Castle. It's located in Aomori Prefecture, and it has a history steeped in darkness and ghostly legends. This beautiful castle, surrounded by cherry blossom trees, holds secrets that whisper through its corridors and send shivers down the spines of those who dare to explore. The legends say that Hirosaki Castle is haunted by the tormented spirit of a young maid named Oshichi. In the feudal era, Oshichi served as a maid in the castle's quarters, where she fell deeply in love with a samurai. However, this forbidden love was discovered, and Oshichi's lover was punished and executed for the simple crime of love. Consumed by grief and longing, Oshichi's heart turned to darkness. On the night he was to be executed, she set the castle ablaze. She had such a lust for revenge. Who perished in that castle? Countless lives burned away that day, trapped in the inferno she caused. Tragically, Oshichi herself would be lost to the flame as well, as the castle burned to to the ground. Since then, the spirit of Oshichi is said to haunt Hirosaki Castle, seeking solace and eternal reunion with her lost love. Visitors have reported encountering her ghostly figure, a pale and ethereal apparition clad in tattered robes wandering the castle's grounds. Her mournful wails piercing the silence of the night, echoing the empty halls, leaving those who hear it trembling with fear. Now, souls far braver than I have ventured into the castle's depths and have experienced chilling things. Sounds of footsteps that appear to be coming from nowhere but following them, a cold gust of wind that tickles the back of their necks, and an overwhelming feeling of being unwatched by unseen eyes. Shadowy figures flickering in the corner of your vision. Some visitors have even claimed to witness the sight of flames dancing in empty rooms, a ghostly reminder of the tragedy that unfolded centuries ago. I'm certainly not brave enough to visit Hirosaki Castle, but if you are, definitely check it out. I just recommend you know exactly where the fire exits are before you go, just in case. If it happened once, it might happen again. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, talking about the urban legends and the different laws and things that are not allowed in the country, it's quite hectic. Japan will be hectic for me. I think I'll go with nothing. Just undo it, maybe. Alright, so remember earlier on I asked you guys, it was a question that was sent into the studio. Can I bring cheese into Japan? Ooh, I love cheese. Anyway, so cheese is basically subject to animal quarantine regulations for dairy products, right? So processed cheese can be brought into Japan, yes. Cheese brought in personnel baggage accompanying a person arriving from a foreign country may be exempted from animal quarantine requirements, provided that it has less than 10 kilograms in weight. If you want to check out additional information on cheese, right, you can go to the website called Mofco. And yeah, so there's a lot of complications with cheese in Japan. I think that's weird, but anyway. Coming in at number 5, the Himeji Castle and the Okiku's Well.
Number 3, Himeji Castle and Okiku's Well. Himeji Castle. It's a majestic fortress located in Himeji City. Despite the castle's outward beauty, it hides a dark legend centered around a cursed well, so infamous that it's inspired countless folk tales and the iconic Japanese horror classic, Ringu. The legend revolves around a girl named Okiku, who served in Himeji Castle during the feudal era. Okiku possessed a great beauty and caught the attention of a samurai lord. She rejected his advances due to her loyalty to another samurai. Enraged by this rejection, the lord framed Okiku for a crime and accused her of stealing one of 10 precious family heirloom plates. Okiku knew she was innocent, and thus she refused to confess to the crime. The lord was a sadist and treated Okiku with cruel impunity. He tormented her, subjecting her to unspeakable acts, things better left said in polite company like my YouTube friends. Determined to get her to confess to this false crime, he cast her into a well, where she would fall to her death. This well is now known as Okiku's Well, and it's become a place of dread and sorrow. Do not drink anything that comes out of this thing, because it's said that Okiku's ghost emerges from the well, counting the plates repeatedly in a desperate attempt to prove her innocence and seek justice. Now, legend has it that if the count reaches 9, a terrible curse will befall Himeji Castle and all the inhabitants. Now, if this sounds kind of familiar, and maybe because I mentioned that it's the inspiration for Ringu earlier in this point, this was the inspiration for the iconic Japanese horror film franchise. A cursed videotape haunts anyone who watches it, leading to their gruesome demise in 7 days. The film's ghost, Sadako, or Samara Morgan if you're American, shares similarities with Okiku, including her ghostly emergence from a well and a vengeful desire to seek justice. And you know what? I bet both Okiku and Sadako are actually real sweethearts if you just sit down and get to know them. The well in Himeji Castle continues to captivate visitors who report all sorts of eerie things. Disembodied whispers and overwhelming feeling of unease near the well's vicinity. Are you brave enough? I honestly would not even dare. And also, I gotta work in 7 days, so I can't be watching any haunted videotapes.
Moving on to the plants we were talking about that is restricted by Japan customs, and I've got Taylor Smith scaring the crap out of you this morning. There's a lot of funny things going on in Japan, but hey, it's life, eh? Anyway, now to prevent pests and harm plants, like we're talking about the restrictions of plants now, right? So this is to prevent pests and harm plants from entering Japan, right? Like now, following the prohibited. Check it out. So you're not allowed to bring mango. Okay, you're not allowed to bring mango steam, guava, lychees, and most fruit. Fruit, vegetables such as citrus fruits, countries and regions that have like Mediterranean fruit flies, and you get your Bactrocera dorsals such as Europe, Africa, Central America, South America, Australia, Middle East, and South Asia suffer with these things. Now the apple, pear, the peach, the nectarine, cherries, and walnuts with shells, countries and regions that have codling moth. Oh, you heard of it. Now, such as North America, it's quite bad there now, by the way. All right, so you get sweet potatoes now, right? Now, sweet potatoes in some countries and regions such as Asia, Africa, Hawaii, and Australia, it's forbidden. It's not allowed. So anyway, citrus seedlings such as, anthurum seeding, countries and regions such as America and Hawaii don't allow this. And also, don't forget straws and strawberries. I'm not sure if this is true, but anyway, countries and regions such as Europe, America, Canada, and New Zealand. There are some people who actually plan to gift these types of fruits. I always take a fruit basket when I go on a business trip, or a basket of chocolates, but many times it has been fruit, especially when I go to some cultural things. I fall under Hinduism. So guys, everything we do has to do with offering fruit. Yeah? So, it's difficult to actually now say, I'm going to go on a business trip to Japan. What do I give them, Especially because also the cultures, Hinduism and Japanese, is quite similar. It's interesting. Anyway, moving on to number 2, the, Ununaki Island. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, but check it out.
Number 2, Inanaki Island. Deep within the mist-shrouded mountains of Japan lies a place that chills the souls who dare speak its name, Inanaki Village. This cursed and forsaken village holds a dark legend that scares even the bravest paranormal enthusiasts. According to the folklore, Inanaki Village was once a thriving community, but a series of horrific events would lead to its downfall. The villagers were driven to madness by an unknown force, descended into depravity, practicing dark rituals and unspeakable acts of cruelty. You gotta sub to the Patreon if you want to hear about all the unspeakable acts, all the stuff that's too unspeakable for YouTube. Their actions attracted the attention of malevolent spirits, which descended upon the village, claiming the lives of everyone. Since that fateful day, Inanaki Village has been enveloped in eternal darkness. The streets run rampant with poltergeists and all manner of spiritual prankster. Legend has it that those who are daring enough to venture into the village are forever trapped, doomed to be tormented by the restless souls, and eventually join the Legion back there. Whispers of the village's legends echo through the forest, warning travelers of the malevolence inside. The air is thick with an otherworldly presence, and the sounds of disembodied voices fill the night. Witnesses claim to have seen shadowy figures lurking among the dilapidated houses, their eyes filled with anger. It's said to be a place where time stands still, macabre secrets locked away from the world. Now, those who have entered its boundaries report all these things like sudden drops in temperature, a feeling of being watched, scratches appearing on their bodies. The anguished cries of the torment souls who met their gruesome fate reverberate through the darkness. Inanaki Village stands as a reminder of the depths of human darkness and the consequences that follow, and it serves as a warning for those who hear its name. I personally probably wouldn't go, but I recommend you might, and hey, if nobody's living there except ghosts, I'm willing to bet you can probably get an amazing deal on a 1-bedroom there. Might be worth looking into investing.
Taylor, you're freaking us out now, dude. I mean, really. Okay, let's get back to my presentation for today. We talked about the laws and the things you can't take into the country of Japan. Now, I was mentioning the things with the plants. Now, don't forget, please write this down somewhere if you're planning on going to Japan, right? Make sure that you double check the plant quarantine station's website before you even leave to Japan or plan your trip. Also, plants with dirt on them cannot and will not be accepted into Japan. So if you did bring some over, make sure to declare them. You have to declare them. Remember these words. Declare them at the plant quarantine station if you are visiting Japan. Alright, so items that will infringe on intellectual property, such as your fake brands and your counterfeit goods. Oof, this is a tough one for me. Alright, so bringing in items that actually infringe on intellectual property, such as your fake brands and the counterfeit goods, is actually completely illegal in Japan. Okay, now not only do these products obstruct Japan's industrial growth, but it also has a possibility of supplying resources to criminal organizations and terrorist groups. And for this reason, customs is strengthening the regulations. So be careful with your fake brands that you're taking into the country. If I were you, I'd just wear no name and just be safe. Coming in at number 1, the Hashima Island. Check it out.
Number 1, Hashima Island. And finally, we've come to our conclusion with Japan's Hashima Island, which is commonly known as Gunkanjima Battleship Island, is a small abandoned island located approximately 15 kilometers off the coast of Nagasaki. The island's most distinctive feature that you'll recognize is that it looks like a battleship, hence the nickname Battleship Island. It's not just because they love the Milton Bradley Company over there. Hashima Island was once a thriving coal mining community during Japan's industrialization period. In the early 20th century, Mitsubishi developed the island to extract coal from the island's rich undersea mines. As the demand for coal increased, the population on the island grew as well. To accommodate this growing workforce, high-rise apartment buildings were constructed, making this island one of the most densely populated places in the world at the time. Imagine how bad the rent was here. Now, eventually the island got just too saturated in the 50s. With the decline of coal mining in the 70s, the island's viability decreased and Mitsubishi shut down the mines. The inhabitants left, with nothing left on the island but dust and echoes. Hashima Island still perseveres on. Decaying buildings, rotting concrete, dilapidated roads, decrepit remains of what used to be a bustling community. Do I have another synonym for rotting? Not sure, but if you've got a thesaurus handy, leave one in the comments. The remnants of daily life have been left untouched, leaving behind a very ghostly atmosphere that evokes feelings of stuff like Chernobyl. Now, access to most of the island is very prohibited. The place is deteriorating fast, and local government worries that, any unsupervised intrusion will cause future damage. So there are some incredibly limited guided tours for those looking to wander amidst the memories. And Hashima Island definitely has an appeal to it. It's captured the interest of photographers, filmmakers, all sort of drawn to that post-apocalyptic look. And it serves as a nice, poignant reminder of the rapid industrialization and subsequent decline that characterized Japan's history and the human stories that unfolded within its concrete walls. And what's scarier than thinking about how industrialization and the capitalist machine will eventually kill all of us? Nothing, except maybe like a ghost. A ghost is pretty scary. Anyway, that's about all she wrote for this one, my ghouls and goblins. Thanks so much for watching. You keep on creeping on now, and I'll see you in the next one.
Creep on, Taylor Smith. Thank you so much for the top 5 evil places in Japan. Sure. I don't want to go there now. Do you? Okay. If you do go, just, I'll just go to the wall in China. The 8 wonders of the world kind of thing. I'll see what I need to see. Get out of there. I'll probably see their temples, because that fascinates me. Their culture fascinates me. So that'll be about it. Nothing else. I don't want to see anything else in Japan. I'll probably be afraid of the meat. I'm not sure. And you're not even allowed to take your own. This is going to be a problem. You're going to go to Japan, you're just going to eat fries and get fat. Yeah? Yes. Alright. So talking about the different creatures, the scary things or weird things in Japan, for me, I find it quite strange. But you got to open up your mind to, learn about different cultures and countries, how they work and stuff. So let's look at the yokai, okay? So the yokai, let's talk about the yokai. Now, yokai is Japan's most terrifying supernatural creatures. I'm taking over Taylor Smith's show now. So let's take a look at what the yokai is about. Here we go.
In Japanese folklore, yokai are supernatural creatures that take various shapes and forms, from shape-shifting animals to inexplicable diseases. They derive from the idea that all things possess spirits, which may be awakened when met with strong forces of energy or emotions. One of Japan's most fearsome yokai is the kappa. These amphibious monsters inhabit rivers and are known for dragging people, especially children, into water and drowning them. A tiny pond on the kappa's head carries water from the river it dwells in and acts as the source of their life energy. During the Edo period, it was rumored that the kappa would reach into its victim's bottom and extract a little ball known as shirikodama, which was said to hold the human soul. As the kappa devours the delicious human essence, its bare-bottom victim dies a painful death. When a man is wicked beyond redemption, he may transform into a yokai known as an oni. The large, horned, and red-skinned demon terrorizes the living and preys on human flesh. One notorious oni, Shutendoji, transformed into a yokai from a troubled orphaned monk. The Oni lived on a mountain and kidnapped hikers to drink their blood and devour their organs. It even gathered an army of social rejects that all transformed into violent Oni. Some yokai can also take the form of wronged ghosts. Okiku was a maid who served an affluent family in Japan's Edo period. One day, she was wrongfully accused of breaking one of the family's 10 heirloom plates. The family punished her by cruelly throwing her into the backyard well, drowning and killing her. Okiku's ghost has haunted the well ever since, and each night a faint counting of 1 to 9 echoed throughout the mansion as she searched for the lost plate. The bone-chilling image of Okiku draped in long, jet-black hair and a white kimono is said to have inspired Sadako, the ghost of Ringu, the 1998 J-horror film. There are hundreds of yokai documented in Japanese encyclopedias and books, with many more to be discovered. Passed down by diligent storytellers, these imaginative tales of yokai continue to inspire pop culture.
You see now, I am not going to Japan. You go, call me, let me know how it goes. You know, like video call, something like that. I'm not going to Japan, guys. There's so many funny creatures in there. I don't know what to tell you guys. But no, on a serious note, there's a lot of beautiful stuff in Japan. So I was just joking, pulling a chain, guys. Well, today's show was quite fun. With the evil places and creatures and laws in Japan. It's quite hectic. But hey, once you get the hang of it, I'm sure you'll get used to it. Don't go anywhere, we got lots of entertainment coming up straight after this break.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine, oh, because you're mine, because you're mine.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you just joined us, you are currently streaming live with us in the Nation Sound on Actonville TV. Remember, if you didn't do this already, I need you to like, share, and main thing, subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon and select all. So every time we go live, it informs you that we are streaming live. Alright. So if this is your first time joining us, don't be shy. Comment at the bottom of the screen, join the conversation. We're talking about Japan's do's and don'ts and their folklore, urban legend, anyway, as promised, we did promise you entertainment, so we're gonna keep you going on this Thursday. Okay, now let's do this. Alright, so today we have, Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. Today it's being covered by First Year 11 from Canada.
Song. It's Sweet Child of Mine. So we're gonna play this, and then our new video, I think, is it Last Resort today? Pretty sure that's what comes out today, so you guys will see that after this. Dragon Storm said, totally excited for Lakewood, bringing my mom with me. Aw, fun. Muse said, I had to miss the whole live stream. Oh, that's okay, you can rewatch them, but hopefully we'll see you in New York. That'd be fun. Everybody say thank you, Brooke and Trevor, for playing today, and you'll see them on tour too. She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky. Now and then when I see her face, it takes me away to that special place, and if I stare too long, I'll probably break down and cry. Whoa.
too early in the morning for this song. Oh my god.
She's got eyes of the bluest skies, as if they thought of rain. I hate to look into those eyes and see an ounce of pain. Her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place where as a child I'd hide and pray for the thunder and the rain to quietly pass me by. Whoa, sweet child of mine. Whoa, sweet love of mine. Oh, sweet child of mine. Whoa, sweet love of mine. Whoa, sweet child of mine. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, sweet love of mine. Where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Oh, where do we go? Oh, where do we go now? Where do we go? Oh, where do we go now? I. Where do we go now? Where do we go? Oh, where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Ooh, where do we go now? No. Sweet child, sweet child,
First to 11 performing for us, Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. A bit of a schlep there. Guys, I'm a musician myself. I got my fiance Andy Poonen who teaches me bass guitar, which I love to bits because I've learned that the bass guitar is like the glue of the music, you know what I mean? So anyways, I saw the lead guitarist having trouble there, but nevertheless, it was a beautiful performance of the well-covered version of Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. Big shout out to First to 11 from Canada. We love your music, we love your performance. Even with your mistakes, you still sounded brilliant. Don't go anywhere, we've got lots more coming up straight after this commercial break.
Look at slide 4.
Becky, don't lose your cool. Think of the quarter pounder. It will taste like sunshine on a rainy day. Oh, so make it a day. On the way. Da 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 da.
Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, you are currently streaming live with us right here in the Nation South on Atom World TV. Alright, so those of you who don't know me, I'm your host, Kimera Heeralal. You are watching the Cracker Down show on this Thirsty Thursday. In South Africa, we say Who's That Thursday. So yeah, as we told you, we're going to keep you well entertained this morning. Let's kick it with the police medley, and this is covered by Flames from India. Check them out.
Well, someone told me yesterday that when you throw your love away, you look as if you just don't care. You look as if you're going somewhere, but I just can't convince myself. But I could live with no one else. But I could barely play that part. Just sit and nurse my broken heart. So lonely, so lonely, so lonely, so lonely. So lonely, so lonely, so lonely. Well, no one knocked upon my door. Well, 1,000 just a years or more. All is well and all went down. Just welcome to this one-man show. So lonely, so lonely, so lonely, so lonely. 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 Just a castaway, another lost at sea. Oh, another lonely day with no one else but me. Oh, more loneliness than any man could bear. Rescue me before I fall into despair. Oh, I send an SOS to the world. I send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle, yeah. 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 Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Sending out an SOS. Sending out an SOS. Sending out an SOS. for too long, for too long, 'cause you make me feel like you're knocked out of heaven. For too long, for too long.
That was Flames performing for you a mixed mashup of classics, and they from India. Shout out to Flames. Yo! Tight band. Don't go anywhere, guys. When you come back, we're going to talk about our fun facts. No Auntie Sheila, I'm afraid, this morning, but we'll try again tomorrow, as Auntie Sheila doesn't post every single day. So, we'll come back straight after this commercial break. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. All right, it's come to that time of the show where we're going to talk about our fun facts. And for those of you who just decided to log in now, hey man, you're late. We started at 7 o'clock here, man. Yeah, but anyway, let's talk about our fun facts on the Crocodile Show. All right. So now, here's a fun fact for you guys, okay? There's an ant species unique to New York City. Alright, so it's called the Manhattans. Okay, now the biologists actually found them in a specific 14-block strip of the city. It's very unique. Anyway, here's another one. A fun fact this morning you can carry in the office if you're at the office. The Eiffel Tower was originally intended for Barcelona. Can you believe it, huh? The Spanish city thought it was too ugly. So Gustave Eiffel actually pitched it to Paris instead. And the French critics weren't too thrilled either, but it's one of the most famous landmarks in the world today. Yeah. Alright, here's another fun fact for you guys. There's only one Shell garage actually shaped like a shell. Did you know that? I mean, there was actually 8 built in the 1930s, right? But only one remains in North Carolina. Yeah. Alright, and last but not least, we got the shortest commercial flight in the world, and it's actually in Scotland. Now, it's basically a regional airline called Loganair flies between the it flies between the islands Westray and Papa Westray. So the journey is basically 1.7 miles, and it takes about 90 seconds just to get there. Why the hell would you fly? It's expensive. Anyways, guys, it's come to that time where I want to love and leave you. No, I have to love and leave you. Time's up, and I've got other things to do. Got a job as well. This is my hobby, guys. Actable TV is my hobby. It's actually a non-profit company. So I'm here to just grow myself as a presenter, as an engineer, in production. So hey, if you are residing close to Legendse South and you want to join me on the show, drop us a WhatsApp on 074-660-5829. Again, you'll find the number at the bottom right of the screen. Please interact with us. Let us know if you want to be a part of the whole production, the whole broadcasting media thing. And you can join me on the show, or you could just interact with us live on the comments, and you can be a part of it somehow. So So yeah, so for those of you who have businesses and want to advertise on our platform, drop us a WhatsApp and let us know. Alright, anyway, Eid Mubarak to all of you Muslim fellow folk out there. I hope you guys have a blessed day. It is an auspicious and religious day for you guys. Hope you have a good one. For those of you who are going to enjoy your Puza Thursday, please use Taxify or Uber to come home. I usually book Rose Taxi, so yeah. Anyway, from myself, Kimera, Heeralal, have a blessed day. Bye-bye.